top of the first.
As Sean Hess deals. Fouled and ricocheted off the net. Count is 3-2.
Full count early here for Sean Hess. But as we've seen recently, he's been able to get out of it.
And the pitch from Hess is popped up foul as Vargas is able to keep the at-bat alive. Sean Hess has 10 pitches so far.
Looking to get the last out here.
As Vargas fouls that one off his ankle, keeping his at-bat alive.
On deck is Connolly, if Vargas can get on base here for the Clippers.
Full count, no men on, 2 outs, top of the first. The pitch from Sean Hess. Popped up foul.
Mike Vargas is really getting under those pitches, staying alive, but every single one is getting behind him as Hess has thrown practically all of them in the dirt so far. Vargas is jumping on every single one. I wouldn't not expect to see another low pitch here.
As Hess misses there with the ball inside, and Vargas gets on base with a walk. And Dan, a nice job out of Vargas working the count, which ultimately led to him getting on base with a walk. And now up is Seamus Connolly. Connolly, the DH here, looking to keep the inning alive for the Clippers. A runner on first and Vargas. 2 outs.
Vargas doesn't look like he's going to steal, but you never know.
Popped up, giving chase is Vulo as he runs out of room. Count is 0-1.
Mike, if this was a MLB stadium, maybe Vulo was able to get over the edge and make that catch, but we're still just in high school.
Possibly, but this is a substantially tall fence, so it's not very advantageous for catchers to go over and try to make a play.
I would love to see it, though.
As the pitch was fouled off, and Connolly hobbles as it appears to be batted off his leg. That's definitely not a place, especially of your body, that you want a ball to be ricocheted off of.
Especially when Sean Hess is throwing. Got a great fastball.
And you have to remember, just as fast as the pitch was thrown is just as fast as the ball is being batted off of the bat. So it's definitely not a pleasant feeling. The pitch from Hess is popped up, giving chase is Vulo. As it sails away, count remains at 0-2. The 0-2. Fouled off again as Connolly is able to keep the at-bat alive.
The last 2 batters against Sean Hess have kept this top of the first inning alive, and Sean Hess has thrown a little too many pitches in my book.
0-2 as the 6th pitch of the at-bat is on the way, and he struck him out. Job well done there by Sean Hess as he's able to sustain the 0-0 tie in the top of the first. All right, and here, as you see, is St. Peter's Prep's lineup. Leading off for Prep is Corel Cattle. Batting second is Matt McDermott, the shortstop. Playing first and batting third is number 23, Jack Carey. Pitching and on the mound is Sean Hess, but batting in his spot is Ryan Dornio, the designated hitter. Playing right field when wearing number 5 and batting fifth is Paul Cuccinelli. Playing third base, Jared Rosso, and batting sixth. Batting seventh is Don Maleo. Frankie Vullo behind the dish, he bats eighth. And rounding out the lineup for Prep is the left fielder, Trevor Donatacci.
Donatacci made that nice catch in the top of the first inning.
That was definitely a difficult grab, but he has the range to get to it, as we saw there. And here's Corel Cattle. As Klugowitz gets to the mound, as he looks to start off the bottom of the first.
Like last game here at Caven Point against Dickinson, Cattle started off the game with a single. And actually, even though they put a few runs in, it was one of the only hits of the game.
As it's popped up to center field. Underneath is the right fielder as he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. A nice play there by Thomas Papadopoulos. And now up is the shortstop for Prep, Matt McDermott, with 1 out, no men on here in the bottom of the first. It just took Klugowitz 2 pitches to retire Cattle. As the third pitch is in there for a ball, count is 1-0.
Definitely a quick start here for the Clippers.
The 1-0. Misses low, 2 balls, no strikes.
Mike, the captain for St. Peter's Prep Baseball, has definitely played well this year.
Yes, he has, as he wants to get into rhythm as he goes into college. As that is driven into left field, and the catch is made by the left fielder. What a play there by Brian Hamill.
Definitely a nice catch. That could have easily been a triple with McDermott's speed. Hamill was just able to get there in time. Hamill has a little bit of speed himself. And Hamill's brother is on this team as well, Mike, isn't he?
The third baseman, Brendan Hamill. 2 outs. As Jack Carey looks to get on here with a single.
Carey, the star-studded pitcher, who was able to play pretty much every position and hit the ball.
So that pitch missed there. Count is 1-0. Misses low and outside again. 2 balls, no strikes to Jack Carey, the first baseman. The 2-0. Misses low again in the dirt. 3 balls, no strikes. So Klugowitz is in an early hole here in this at-bat, Dan.
Yeah, Klugowitz just can't seem to find the strike zone right now. But it's early.
Fastball right down the pipe there, as you would expect. Count is 3-1. The 3-1 from Klugowitz is on the way. Lined out to center field as the center fielder makes the grab. 3 up, 3 down for Prep. A nice play there by the leadoff hitter, Jared Lerner, as he fell to his knees making the grab.
Let's see what Xaverian can come do in the top of the second inning, as they left a man on first in the first inning. Back up to the mound is Sean Hess. Pitch from Sean.
As the first pitch from Sean Hess misses low and away to Stefano Priante. Priante leading off in the top of the second for the Clippers. As the second pitch is on the way and almost catches Priante there with that off-speed pitch. 2 balls, no strikes.
Quick movement there by Priante.
The 2-0 from Hess is in there for a strike. Count is 2-1.
Hess is throwing a lot of pitches early, and you hate to see that. Xaverian really getting to him, staying alive, and pretty much each up to bat.
Count is 3-1 as the fastball missed on the outside corner. Count is 3 balls, 1 strikes to Stefano Priante. And the 3-1 from Hess is popped up to the right side. Carry underneath as he makes the play for the first out of the inning.
Another good catch in foul ball territory. This time by Jack Carey, the pitcher slash hitter slash first baseman slash everything.
He can do it all. And now we have Dom Raphael.
No hits in this game so far, but Vargas was able to get on base with a walk.
As the first pitch to Raphael misses there. The 1-0 from Hess. Lined out to center as he gets on with a single, as he was able to drop.
Mike, just as we said, there were no hits in this game. Raphael immediately proves us wrong and gets the first hit of the game.
Yep, especially in baseball, of all sports, the tide can definitely turn at any moment. And now we have Pascual Corredo, with 1 out, a runner on first, as we mentioned, Dom Raphael. As Hess deals, and he misses there with that ball. The last pitch was up and away. The 1-0 from Hess. Misses low and away, 2-0.
Mike, I know it's early, but from what I've seen from Hess so far, a lot of balls away from the batter, really trying to make them pull. And on the ones that do bite, oh, there's a steal.
As it caught Corredo there, as he was plunked, and he'll get to first there. So now the Clippers have runners on first and second here in the top of the second. Corredo was hit by a pitch, as we mentioned.
Yeah, Mike, never like to see that. Just recently I was watching the Yankee game, and Rizzo was hit by a pitch, and he was in a lot of pain. It was from Aroldis Chapman, too, of all people. That's definitely got to hurt.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those pitches that will stay with you for a while.
Yes, it is. But, yeah, what we were saying earlier, Sean Hess is throwing a lot of balls, besides the one that he just threw to hit Corredo. A lot of balls to the outside, trying to make the batter bite. And the batters that do bite have been able to get a hold of it and either foul ball or get something and stay alive in the count.
As Raphael takes off, and he's able to steal third base there. A nice throw by Vulo, but not in time. And Brian Hamill swung and missed at the fastball.
Xaverian doesn't really take big leads off the base, but they're kind of sneaky about it. They got quick runners who are able to get to the base.
As Hamill fouls that one back, count is 0-2. And the Clippers now have runners on second and third.
Only 1 out.
As they had a double steal. So Corredo and Raphael advance.
Hess is definitely in a sticky situation.
The 0-2 from Hess as it's slapped foul by Hamill, keeping his at-bat alive. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out.
Like 30 pitches from Hess so far. It's a little early for that, isn't it?
Not necessarily. It's only 2 innings. He's averaging about, right now he's only averaging about 15 pitches per inning. I'm sure Prep would like less, but it's not the end of the world. So the 0-2 from Hess. Swung on and miss as he gets Hamill there swinging on the 3rd strike for the 2nd out of the top of the 2nd. And now due up is his brother Brendan Hamill, who made that nice catch out in left field. As Hamill tries to drop a bunt, picked up by Vulo as he throws over to first for the final out of the top of the 2nd. So the Clippers leave 2 men stranded on 2nd and 3rd in scoring position. So as we head into the bottom of the 2nd, the score is 0-0.
Yeah, like right here. Look at this. I'm
So
just going to move it over a little.
So now due up for Prep is Ryan Dornio, the junior, as he leads off. As he takes the first pitch, which is a breaking ball for a strike. Count is 0-1 to Ryan Dornio, the designated hitter for Prep. The 0-1 from Klugowitz. Misses with a ball. Count is 1-1 as that last pitch missed on the outside corner there, Dan. The 1-1. Chop foul down the first base line. Count is 1-2. The 1-2 to Dornio. Gets him swinging there on that breaking ball. Nice stuff there by Klugowitz.
Yeah, Dornio definitely thought he had a single there. Swinging hard. But
As he struck out Dornio there with that breaking ball. And here up is Paul Cuccinelli, the right fielder, as he takes the first pitch for a ball.
Cuccinelli, another one of those versatile players for Prep. He really can play anywhere. First base, third base, second base, outfield today.
Grounded foul by Paul Cuccinelli as the count is 1-1.
Mike, what have you seen so far from Klugowitz?
Klugowitz is definitely getting help from his teammates, but as we just saw there, he's off to a hot start in the 2nd inning. So the 1-1 from Klugowitz is on the way.
He's
Deals.
definitely got a variety of pitches.
As that breaking ball from Klugowitz just missed there, as the count to Paul Cuccinelli is 2-1. Derek Klugowitz deals. Breaking ball misses low as he falls behind in the count 3-1.
Mike, so far this year, Prep has been very good against teams outside of the state. 3-1. Do you think they could make it 4-1 here against the team Xaverian Clippers from Brooklyn?
As the last pitch was in there for a strike, and they definitely can. And I think what helps that is their trip to Florida as they went 2-1. As Cuccinelli fouls that pitch off, count remains full. Well, there's a little bit of confusion here, but Cuccinelli gets on. It appears that maybe he was hit by the ball, and as a result, he was able to foul it off. And now up is the third baseman, Jared Rosso. As the first pitch is in there for a strike to Jared. Count is 0-1.
Mike, last time we were here, Jared hit a huge triple that really boosted Prep to the win against Dickinson here.
And unfortunately, his helmet only went along the ride up until second base as it flew off his head.
Mike, I think helmets might be overrated.
Well, it depends on the situation.
Yeah, that's definitely true. With some pitchers not being that accurate, it's definitely safe to
Yep.
have it while hitting, but
As Klugowitz threw over to first, and he throws home as it's fouled off by Jared Rosso. Count is 0-2 to the third baseman for Prep. And I will compliment Xaverian's uniform. I do like that gold, especially with the navy blue. I do like the color coordination, Dan. The color scheme is looking nice for the Clippers. The 0-2, as the breaking ball misses high there. You know, and baseball, there's many traditionalists. They do like the pinstripes. They do like a solid white uniform. But I don't mind Prep's uniform, especially with the maroon. But I'm really digging Xaverian's uniform as well. As the check swing is there, as the catcher threw back to first base to check Cuccinelli, but Rosso did not go on the check swing. Umpire checking for clarification as he gets it.
Mike, that ball almost got by Vargas, and Cuccinelli would have had an easy walk into second base.
Taking off is Cuccinelli. The throw to second, not in time, as Cuccinelli steals second base there.
Mike, Cuccinelli not known to run, but got in pretty easily there.
As Corretto wasn't able to get off a throw in enough time to throw out Cuccinelli. As Klugowitz deals to Rosso. Rosso fouls that one off, keeping his at-bat alive, as he was able to get the ball on the end of the bat. One out. Prep has a runner on second in Paul Cuccinelli. Bottom of the second, score is 0-0. Prep looking to change that here by getting on the board first.
Mike, Cuccinelli's on second base. Didn't even get a hit.
As Klugowitz rings up Jared Rosso there with that breaking ball. And Klugowitz so far is definitely keeping Prep on their toes, as he's able to mix up fastballs and breaking balls. So Prep is really having trouble so far, although it is early, deciphering what pitch is coming. And now up is Dom Maleo, the center fielder for Prep, with a runner in scoring position, as Klugowitz throws over to first, checking Cuccinelli, not in time. But now Cuccinelli will probably have to shorten his lead here.
Mike, Damaleo's not usually in the lineup when we're here. Usually he's a base runner, but today he's in and looks to make a difference for Prep.
As the fastball misses low to Dom Maleo. One ball, no strikes. Checking the runner is Klugowitz as he delivers. Pitch just misses there, up and away. Count is 2-0.
Mike, the sun's starting to come out here as the just reaches 5:30.
It's always a nice feeling, especially on game day. As the breaking ball misses low in the dirt, and Malayo's ahead in the count. 3 balls, no strikes. 2 outs, a runner in scoring position, Paul Cuccinelli for Prep. The 3-0 from Klugowitz. As he walks Malayo on 4 straight pitches. So 2 outs here, and Prep is able to extend the inning for Klugowitz. And now up is the catcher, Frankie Vulo. Two outs. The first pitch to Vulo is taken for a strike. Count is 0-1, 2 outs. Runners on first and second for the Marauders. Marauders in the home white. Klugowitz deals. As Vulo is able to foul that one off, count is 0-2.
Mike, maybe I spoke a little too soon about Sean Hess's pitches, as Klugowitz has definitely thrown a lot of pitches here in the second.
The 0-2. As the catcher throws over to first for the final out. As the catcher dropped the ball there, so he threw over to first.
So in the bottom of the second inning, Prep leaves a man on first and second base.
And the score remains 0-0.
It does. And Xaverian looks to change that in the top of the third.
Ball driven out to center field as Malayo makes the catch there to start off the top of the third. So the very first pitch from John Curran, the new pitcher, was driven out to center field as his center fielder was able to make the play.
Mike, I guess Prep just wasn't feeling Hess today?
No outs here as Thomas Papadopoulos rips that one foul into left field. As it sails out of play, count is 0-1.
It's a good name.
very long name, but it is a strong name. So the 0-1 from the junior, John Curran. Driven out to center field as Maleo plays it, and it drops. So Thomas Papadopoulos gets on base with a single into center. So now the Clippers, with one out, have a runner on first in Thomas Papadopoulos, and now is their first baseman, Xavier Vargas, as he got on base in the first inning on balls.
Mike, why do you think they took Hess out so early today? It's only the third.
Well, it's probably because they want to watch his pitches for one, and also they probably want to keep him ready for the playoffs, but they also want to get him a little bit, they want to get him warmed up and ready for a game during the postseason. As the first pitch of the at-bat misses there with a ball. Count is 1-0 as it missed low and away on the outside corner. Here's the second pitch to Vargas. Slider in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Curran's another one of those guys with a wide variety of pitches.
John Curran, he has a fastball that reaches mid-80s. As he throws over to first, checking the runner Papadopoulos. Nothing doing there.
Don't want to take any chances as Xavier's already stolen 3 bases today.
Curran looking over. Taking off his Papadopoulos. As it's popped up, middle infield, underneath is Cattle as he makes the play, throws over to first. Not in time as Thomas Papadopoulos is able to get back. And now Prep has 2 outs as Vargas popped out. And due up for the Clippers is Seamus Connolly.
Mike, I don't think that's what Papadopoulos was expecting there. He went for the steal, the 4th steal of this game for Xaverian, and it was popped up there by Vargas. And he read it pretty well and ran back.
No pun intended there, Dan. Papadopoulos popped up. So 2 outs. Papadopoulos on first. A great name. Throwing over to first is Curran as he checks the runner. 2 outs, top of the third. Here's Seamus Connolly, the designated hitter for the Clippers. Curran checks the runner again as he steps his back foot off the mound. And he delivers. Swung on and missed for the first strike of the at-bat, 0-1.
Pitch was a little high there. But Connolly jumped on it.
The 0-1 from Curran. Misses low in the dirt as Papadopoulos is able to steal with no contested throw there from Vulo.
Yeah, with the pitch being in the dirt, he wasn't able to recover quick enough, and Papadopoulos, who wanted to steal earlier, gets the steal he wanted now.
As Curran throws over to second, with the leaping grab there is Matt McDermott as he's able to prevent the ball from getting into the outfield. McDermott shadowing the runner Papadopoulos. The 1-1 from Curran is driven out to center field as Dom Maleo makes the catch there. So the score remains 0-0. And in this half inning, Dom Maleo has accounted for 2 of the 3 outs for the Marauders.
And they leave Papadopoulos on base as we go into the bottom of the third.
So Trevor Donatachi is the leadoff hitter for Prep. As the first pitch from Derek Klugowitz misses low and away with a ball. The 1-0 from Tanadachi, from Klugowitz rather. Misses low again, count is 2-0. Pitch from Klugowitz. Misses low as it gets past the catcher and reaches the backstop. As his catcher, Corretto, tells him to settle down.
Early hole here in the bottom of the third.
3-0 to Donatachi. As the breaking ball is in there for a strike, 3-1. Three balls, one strike. Misses low as he walks Trevor Donatachi. And now up for the Marauders is the leadoff hitter, the junior second baseman, Corell Cattle. No outs. A runner on first for the Marauders. As Klugowitz looks over and he throws over to first. As Donatachi gets back safely. Klugowitz looks over. He steps off as he reconvenes.
Like, still no hits for Prep.
As the pitch from Klugowitz is fouled off by Cattle near the Prep's dugout. Count is 0-1.
Mike, I'm looking over at Xaverian's dugout. It's compared to St. Peter's, it's very small. Not a lot of guys.
As the pitch misses there, and the catcher Corretto was looking to fire over to first if indeed Donatachi took off. And yeah, Dan, as you mentioned, Prep does have an abnormally large team, but the bench players, there's not too many for Xaverian, but I don't think that will be a problem. As the pitch from Klugowitz is ripped and fouled down the left field line by Corell Cattle as he's able to keep his at-bat alive, 0-2. A ball and two strikes, no outs, runner on first.
That's gotta hurt.
As Cattle fouled that one off his leg. And that's the third time in the game that a batter has batted the ball off a lower part of his body.
And you could immediately see he was in a little bit of pain there.
Which I think most people would. So the 1-2 from Klugowitz. Breaking ball ripped in the middle as it seeps through to center field. As the center fielder, Jared Lerner, was able to get the throw in. And now Prep has, with no outs, has two men on. Trevor Donatachi and Corell Cattle.
And they get their first hit of the game. Just like last time Prep was here, Cattle gets the first hit. And this definitely could bring some momentum to the team as they've got a man on first, a man on second, and no outs.
And here's Matt McDermott, the senior captain, the William & Mary commit, as he shows a bunt but pulls it back. As the pitch is in there for a strike. And Dan, I think the umpire called a strike there as the count is 0-1. I think he called a strike there because McDermott showed bunt and he pulled it back. So anything in that vicinity will most likely be called a strike because of that. So the second pitch is on the way as it is lined into left field and drops. Donatachi rounds third. The play at the plate as Donatachi scores. And McDermott gets on with a double as he advances Corral Cattle and gets an RBI in the process. So Prep leads 1-0 here in the bottom of the third.
A great hit there by McDermott. Got it right down the third base line. And with his speed, he was easily able to get to second base. And he gets Donatachi home for an RBI double.
As the first pitch to Carey misses with a ball. Count is 1-0. No outs. 2 men in scoring position for Prep. Here's Jack Carey. The 1-0. In there for a strike. Count is 1-1. As it was inside, but right around Carey's knees.
Mike, that's what you gotta love about McDermott, though, going back to his hit. He's a great shortstop, able to make great catches, diving catches. He'll do everything he can to get that ball. And he can hit the ball extremely well, as you just saw there for that double.
As the 1-1 misses in the dirt, as it was stopped by the catcher Corretto. Two balls, one strike. No outs here in the bottom of the third. The pitch to Jack Carey's on the way, and it misses low again. Count is 3-1. Jack Carey must have thought he had a walk there, but indeed he didn't.
Yeah, he's got one more ball.
As he has at least a pitch to go before he can advance to first. The 3-1 popped up to center. Underneath is Lerner as he makes the grab. Tagging up is the speedy Cattle. The play at the plate, not in time as Cattle scores the second run for Prep.
A great RBI pop-up there from Carey. I think that's all he really wanted to do there. Get one of the two men on base home, preferably Cattle, as he was on third base. Cattle read that completely. The minute that ball went into the center fielder's hand, he ran home, and it's 2-0 with only one out here in the bottom of the third.
And here's Ryan Dornio, 2-0. McDermott stayed on second with one out. The first pitch to Ryan Dornio's on the way, and the breaking ball slider misses low and away. Count is 1-0.
Mike McDermott took a really big lead there as no one's on second base.
Well, now the shortstop's covering as he's shadowing McDermott, as McDermott shadows when he plays shortstop. And McDermott, I'm sure, is using that experience of being a shortstop and being on the field defensively and using that as a base runner. As Klugowitz steps off, one out. McDermott, the sole runner on the base paths for Prep.
Klugowitz is definitely trying to get him out here. Second base keeps looking back.
The pitch to Dornio misses as McDermott is able to steal third there as he utilizes his speed there and advances.
That's exactly what McDermott wanted to do. Klugowitz just kept looking back. He wasn't able to get it until he finally threw. And McDermott definitely read that well, as now he's on third base. Only one out in a 2-0 game right now.
The 2-0 popped up to the left side as it is fouled. Count is 2-1.
Mike, this is definitely the offense Prep wanted to have in this game. Started off a little slow, but are definitely picking it up here. And even if they don't get anything else in, they've definitely got the momentum going into the next inning.
As the pitch was low and in the dirt there, and the count is now 3-1 to Ryan Dornio, the designated hitter for the Marauders. The 3-1 misses low as he walks Ryan Dornio, and he gets to first there.
Up to bat now is senior number 5, Paul Cuccinelli. Cuccinelli got on base in the second inning with a walk. And it appears Xaverian will talk it over. Mike, with men on first and third, only one out. Just a pop-up RBI here would definitely work. Get another run in, unless they're trying to get 2 runs in here.
And there's only one out, Dan, as you just mentioned. So Prep can definitely sacrifice an out if it means being able to tack on another run. So Prep leads 2-0 here in the bottom of the third. 1 out. Runners on the corner for Prep. As Xaverian, the Clippers, have a new pitcher, Joseph D'Amato, in. As his first pitch misses up and in to Paul Cuccinelli with a ball. As D'Amato's second pitch misses there, count is 2-0 to Paul Cuccinelli, the right fielder for the Marauders. The 2-0. Ripped to second as it's stopped by the shortstop. The throw to first not in time as the run is able to score for Prep. As Matt McDermott is able to reach home there, and Prep extends their lead 3-0 over the Clippers from Brooklyn.
No pitcher right now is able to stop St. Peter's Prep's offense. Still only 1 out.
Here's Jared Rosso with 1 out. Runners on first and second as he takes the first pitch and looks at it as it is a ball.
Michael, what does Xaverian have to do to get out of this hole?
Defense is definitely key as Rosso swings and misses at that fastball. Count is 1-1. The 1-1. As D'Amato's breaking ball gets in there on the outside corner. As Rosso falls behind in the count 1-2. Only 1 out here for the Clippers. in the bottom of the third. Prep leads 3-0. The 1-2 from D'Amato. Misses low and in the dirt as it's blocked and stopped by the catcher Corretto. The 2-2 from D'Amato. Misses outside as the count is full here.
Another good play by Corretto.
Yeah, Pasquale Corretto has done a fine job today behind the plate.
Yeah, he definitely has. Literally any of those balls getting behind him. A man goes to third, a man goes to second. Playing great.
As D'Amato walks Jared Rosso there, and the seasoned veteran Corretto talks it over with his pitcher D'Amato, tells him to follow through, get every ounce of his delivery to the plate.
Yeah, and up to the bat now is senior Dom Maleo as the bases are loaded with only one out. And how crazy would it be to see a grand slam here? I'm not expecting it, but it would be something.
The floodgates would definitely open up for the Clippers if that were to be the case.
Yeah, I would just put the white flag up now if that happens.
Well, it's only the third inning, so even if Maleo does open it up as he fouls that one off, you know, it's definitely not over for Xavier. There's still a lot of baseball to be played. 7 innings, so
Yeah, Mike, that definitely is true, but I think the bottom of the third inning has gone on a little too long for them.
oh yeah, that's definitely not a spot they want to be in here, as the 1-1 is swung on and missed there by Dom Maleo as the count goes to 1-2.
And it looks like they called that an out. Yes, indeed, they did call that an out. So that will be out number 2 in the bottom of the third inning.
And here's the catcher, Frankie Vullo, with 2 outs. The base is loaded here as he tries to unload them.
Mike, I think that ball from Maleo was one of those in the dirt, and he ran, and the catcher just tagged him.
As the first pitch misses there, up and in from D'Amato. The 1-0 from Joseph D'Amato is ripped back as it ricochets off his ankle. D'Amato flips over to first, but not in time. As Vullo gets an RBI there, as he keeps the inning alive for the Marauders, extending the prep lead 4-0.
There's that speed from Vullo, the catcher. Bases are still loaded, 4-0, and no pitcher right now can stop prep.
As D'Amato testing out his ankle, as I'm sure the ball hit him in a spot where there's not a lot of meat and cartilage, so it definitely hit a bony area, so that's definitely going to sting.
Yeah, another baseball hitting someone in the leg or foot seems to be a common occurrence in this game.
As he looks to test it out again.
I think he'll be fine. He's a baseball player.
But the good thing about today's day and age with baseball is that they want to make sure the players are okay, even after a minor injury. And we're not saying that was a minor injury, because I'm sure that definitely stung and was definitely painful. But they want to make sure he's okay and he's able to continue playing. As he resets. And here's Trevor Donatachi, the left fielder for prep. As the bases are loaded again, or still loaded rather. 2 outs. As the first pitch of the at-bat misses up and away. 1-0.
Mike, I think this inning started off with Donatachi, so they've gone full rotation.
As they bat it around. Breaking ball misses low and away. As D'Amato falls behind in the count, 2-0. 3-0 there as the pitch missed in the dirt.
Mike, I know this is a little irrelevant right now, but it appears St. Peter's Prep is warming someone up in their somewhat makeshift bullpen.
As he walks Donatachi there on 4 straight balls, and he also walks in a run there as Paul Cuccinelli comes around to score, and Prep leads 5-0.
Mike, this has been a very bad inning for Xaverian.
It's definitely a tight spot that they don't want to be in. As the first pitch to Corell Cattle, as he bats for the second time in this inning, is in there for a strike.
He got a single earlier.
As he rips that one down the left field line. As it's a fair ball. 1 run scores. 2 runs score. As Donatachi makes his way around, and the 3rd run scores. As Cattle clears the bases with a double. What a shot.
That ball was hit and just stayed in play long enough so it would roll all the way down, and right fielder Hamill could not get there in time to get anybody out. Well, still 2 outs, and it's 8-0. 8-0, Mike.
Here's Matt McDermott. 2 outs. As the tide has turned in this game.
Mike, yeah, we saw that Xaverian almost scored in the second inning against Hess, the second inning against Hess. And now,
As the pitch misses low there.
now they seem to be in a huge hole.
This is definitely a spot they do not want to be in here, and they're looking to get out of this tough inning. As Prep is up on the top step of the dugout cheering on their teammates as that ball is driven deep into left field, giving chase to the left fielder as Hamill makes the play, ending the inning for the Clippers.
Yeah, Mike, they only let in 8 runs in that inning. That's going to be hard to come back from. 8-0. Xaverian looks to at least get something on the board as we go into the top of the 4th. So, Mike, after a crazy bottom of the 3rd inning for St. Peter's, driving in 8 runs on 5 hits, the Clippers are up to bat and look to make some type of impact, try to dig themselves out of the hole a little bit.
As the 2-0 misses in the dirt there, count is 3-0. So top of the fourth. And here's Stefano Priante. The 3-0 from Curran as he deals. Sorry, the 2-0 rather. And now it's 3-0. Pitch from Curran. It's ground to third. Fielded by Rosso. The throw over to first as they get the first out of the inning there in the top of the fourth.
Now what the Clippers wanted to start with in this inning is they definitely want to dig themselves out of the tremendous hole they've gone into. And Mike, I know it's only the fourth inning, but is it safe to say that it's over or not?
No, it's not, because it's baseball. It's a long game. Although it's not as long as professional baseball or collegiate baseball, they still have at least 3 innings to go. And here is Dom Raphael, the shortstop for the Clippers, as he takes the first pitch there. The 0-1. Swung on and miss. Count is 0-2.
Mike, it's gotten a little bit colder out here, but the sun is still a factor. It's definitely sunny out. Check swing there. They call it a strike.
As the count is 0-2 here. The 0-2 from John Curran. Misses up and away there. Count is 1-2 with 1 out for Prep. The 1-2. Check swing, dribble down the third base line, bobbled by Rosso, as this throw is not in time. As Raphael gets on base with a single.
Rosso was not able to scoop that ball up quick enough or get control of it, and could not get it to carry in time.
So 1 out. A runner on first. And here's the catcher, Corretto. As the first pitch is up and in to the catcher to the catcher of the Clippers.
Mike, out of all the people in the Clippers, the best player for them so far has to be Corretto. What do you think?
Defensively, he's done it all for them. As he fouls that one back to the backstop. Count is 1-1 here.
Yeah, he's definitely kept this from being a 14-0 game.
Curran looks over at the runner. And he delivers to Corretto. Corretto fouls that one off down the left field line. As the count is now 1-2. So 1 out, a runner on first. In the top of the fourth, Prep, as we mentioned, leads 8-0.
Mike, from what I've seen so far from Curran, he's throwing a lot of breaking balls and a lot of balls outside the strike zone.
As it's popped up, Cattle makes the play, throws over to first. As they double him up there, ending the inning. A nice play there all around for Prep's middle infield. As things are definitely flowing here for Prep defensively. So as we head into the bottom of the fourth, Prep leads 8-0 over the Clippers.
So after a crazy inning, Jack Carey will lead off the bottom of the 4th inning for St. Peter's Prep. D'Amato is still on the mound.
So here's the battle of number 23. Joseph D'Amato against Jack Carey. The first pitch of Carey's on the way. And it misses high. Count is 1-0. Bottom of the 4th here. Prep leads 8-0. No outs as Jack Carey's the leadoff hitter for the Marauders. As the second pitch misses low and away in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes to the first baseman for the Marauders.
First baseman and pitcher.
As D'Amato plunks Jack Carey there with the breaking ball, as Carey seemed to lean into it a bit, as the pitch sailed inside on him. So he gets on base here with no outs as he was the leadoff hitter. And now his due up is his fellow junior, Ryan Dornio, the designated hitter.
Mike, it feels like just 3 minutes ago we saw Dornio up to bat.
Well, that's because Prep was able to bat around and take advantage of the problems that the Xaverian Clippers presented.
Yeah, and they had a 3 up, 3 down on the defensive side of the ball. Mike, we're testing a new camera angle out today. So far, I'm liking it.
It's very professional. It's a very professional look. We're up here in the booth. Very luxurious.
I wouldn't say luxurious, but I think it's definitely better than the third baseline. And it looks like another new pitcher is warming up for the Xaverian Clippers.
And here's the new pitcher for the Clippers, Ilon Kimmel, as he steps off. The Marauders have a runner on first in Jack Carey, as Ryan Dornio fouls off the first pitch of the at-bat. Count is 0-1. Ilon Kimmel here, as he's looking to hold on and stop the bleeding here for the Clippers. As his floating breaking ball is in there for a strike. Count is 1-2. 0-2 rather, sorry.
Like I could have sworn that was a ball.
Swing and a miss there as the catcher Corretto threw over to first, but it was not in time.
But he gets Dornio out.
As he was able to strike out Ryan Dornio.
You could definitely see the frustration in Dornio.
And here's the fifth batter, Paul Cuccinelli, as he pops that one up to center field with the diving play. As the throw over to first is not in time. A spectacular play there by Jared Lerner with the web gem.
Put him on SportsCenter Top 10, Mike. That was a great catch at the, say, 45-yard line of the football field.
He was flashing leather there, Dan. What a play. And now up is Jared Rosso, the third baseman. As he lines that one off down the right field line, as the right fielder runs out of room. Count is 0-1. And I'll tell you, Dan, although the Clippers are down by 8 runs, you wouldn't be able to tell by their pace of play and their never say die attitude.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to forget about what happened earlier. And it looks like they're forgetting about it. It looks like it's never happened, and they're just playing baseball, which is what they're out here to do.
As Carey stays put at first base with that ball in the dirt. Popped up. So the first base side underneath is the second baseman as he makes the grab for the final out of the 4th inning. Prep leads 8-0, and they left Jack Carey, the runner, on first.
Yeah, Jack Carey was hit by a ball there. So Xaverian will look to end the shutout streak of prep pitchers so far in the top of the 5th.
And now due up for the Clippers is one half of the twins, the Hamill twins, Brian Hamill. As the first pitch from Curran is on the way, and it misses low. Count is 1-0. The 1-0. In their first strike. Count is 1-1. The 1-1. Misses low. Count is 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strikes to Brian Hamill.
Brian Hamill in the first inning made a spectacular play in the foul ball territory on the third base line, falling down to make the catch.
As he fouled that pitch off, the count is 2-2. So the 2-2 from Curran is now full as he tried to get Hamill to bait on that breaking ball, but he did not. Swing and a miss there as he rings up Brian Hamill, and now John Curran, the junior from Cranford, will face his twin brother, Brendan Hamill. So 1 out here in the top of the 5th.
Like you said, Mike, Curran was trying to get him to bite. Got him on the next pitch.
Short swing there for Brendan Hamill as the count is 0-1. Quick pitch from Curran. Inside, count is 1-1. As the umpire kind of slowing the pace down. As that ball misses on the outside corner, 2 balls, 1 strike. Swing and a miss there for Brendan Hamill. as Curran was able to utilize the outside corner there.
Mike Curran is playing a very fast game right now.
As he rings up the second half of the Hamill duo, as he gets them both swinging on that fastball.
Curran really playing a fast game. It's almost like he wants to get out of this.
And now is the leadoff hitter Lerner as he drops down a bunt fielded by Rosso, as his throw is not in time, as the speedy Jared Lerner gets on base with a bunt there. So 2 outs.
A bunt down to the third base line that Rosso was just not able to get to in time.
And here's the name you and I both love, Dan, Thomas Papadopoulos.
Papadopoulos has the speed, too.
He has it all. As that one is popped out to the shortstop, Matt McDermott, for the final out of the top of the 5th. Prep leads 8-0, and the Clippers leave a man on first. So now due up for the Marauders is the center fielder Dom Maleo, who has also flashed his leather out in center field. As he swings and misses at the first pitch. The count is 0-1. The 0-1. As Kimmel's breaking ball is in there for a strike, and Maleo quickly falls behind in the count, 0-2.
That was a great pitch.
Rip foul down the left field line.
Mike Kimmel's got Maleo where he wants him. Each ball dropping into the dirt pretty quickly. And Maleo's just not being able to read it right now.
Maleo definitely taking a defensive approach in his swing here. As Kimmel steps off, as he recollects. Maleo the leadoff hitter for the Marauders. As Kimmel steps off again. Takes a deep breath. Gets a sign from his catcher, Corretto. And he deals. As he almost catches Maleo there, up and in. But luckily, Maleo was able to dip and dodge out of the way. Count is 1-2. The 1-2. As he gets Dom Maleo looking on that fastball for the third strike, which is the first out of the inning.
Mike Maleo thought that was a ball there. Bit of a breaking ball type of throw, curved in a little bit at the last second. That's definitely what made Maleo think it was a ball, but it was a strike.
And here's the catcher, Frankie Vullo, as he slaps that one into center field. And he reaches first base with a single.
That was quick.
as Prep's hitters, they're not ultra conservative when they're up at bat. Sometimes they just once they see a pitch they like to try to get the bat on the ball, and that time was another case.
So a pinch runner will come in for Prep. It will be Caraway. Speedy runner. Probably going to steal here if he's in. Cataway, my apologies.
As that pitch to Trevor Donatachi was in there for a strike. Count is 0-1. Ryan Ganaway, the pinch runner there. Ground ball to third. Fielded by the third baseman as they get one out. But that's all they get there.
The speedy Cataway makes into second base pretty easily, as he was probably going to steal anyway.
Correction, Mark Shava was actually the pinch runner for Prep. That's right. Now here's Hans Schundler as he takes the first pitch for a strike. Count is 0-1. The pitch is on the way. As it misses inside, count is 1-1. Two outs, the 1-1. Is in there for a strike. A nice breaking ball with that placement. Chavo, the runner on second for Prep. Grounded foul down the third base line as Schundler keeps his at-bat alive.
Mike, people like Hans Schundler don't have to go to school right now. Their high school careers are over.
Well, their academic careers are, but their athletic careers are not. The 1-2. Chop foul down the third base line as Coach Laguerre shows a sign that he still can play baseball as he made a nice play there. The 1-2. Up and in on Schundler. Count is 2-2.
And Mike, even the coaches can do it all here at Prep.
The 2-2. As he gets Hans Schundler looking there for the final out of the fifth inning. Prep leads 8-0, but Xavier was able to hold the runners on. All right, hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Michael Daly and alongside me is my broadcast partner Dan Marr as we are here live at Caven Point. And the first pitch of the at-bat to Xavier Vargas is in there for a strike, count is 0-1. So top of the sixth. So Dan, what do you think John Curran needs to do here to hold on to this lead that he has as that pitch missed there with the ball?
I think he's just got to do what he's doing. He's playing great baseball right now. He's throwing a lot of strikes. He's really getting the batters to jump, pulling the ball top outside. You saw both of the Hamill brothers jump on the exact same pitch up in the top right and top left corners of the strike zone. And I think he's just got to keep doing what he's doing.
As Vargas slaps that one into center field as he gets on base with a leadoff single for the Clippers. And now up is the designated hitter, Seamus Connolly.
Umpire brushes off the home plate. Got to keep it clean. Mike, only 2 chances left, 2 innings for Xaverian to get anything on the board. That ball's way outside, but I definitely expect them to try to steal second base here.
They definitely look for that. Nice stop there by Frankie Vulo. The pitch from Curran. Misses low, count is 2-0. Vargas the runner on first for Xaverian. Curran, crow hop back to first, not in time. Curran does have a nice pickoff move, as many of prep pitchers do.
Yeah, it definitely does not look like they're going to throw back to first base. And it's too late.
As he
once they do.
delivers. Hit back to the middle, the flip to second, the throw to first, as they get the double play there. As they get 2 quick and easy outs to start off the 6th inning.
They took Captain McDermott out. They put sophomore Kyle Hess in. And playing second base for Cattle right now is Hans Schundler. And both of them made nice plays right there.
So the Hess brothers are 2 key contributors in this game so far. As the pitch is on the way from Curran. Swung on and missed by Stefano Priante. Priante, the second baseman for the Clippers. 2 outs here, count of 0-1. Misses low and away, blocked in the dirt by Frankie Vulo. And Frankie Vulo has done a tremendous job today behind the plate, Dan.
He really has, and he's hit the ball too. Had a single in the last inning. So, overall, everybody on prep is playing well.
As the pitch tails away, count is 2-1 with 2 outs. No men on for Xaverian. Prep in the home whites, Xaverian in the gold. The 2-1, 2 outs. Fouled back as the count is tied up 2 apiece. So top of the 6th. Prep leads 8-0. The 2-2 is on the way. In the dirt, the count is full.
That ball just got away from Frankie Vulo there. But luckily no one was on base for Xaverian, and he didn't have to worry.
And Dan, we've been lucky enough in today's games to have 2 great catchers in Vulo and Corretto, as the 3-2 is driven to left field as it gets over the outstretched glove of the third baseman. Thomas Ganaway tried to make the leaping grab there, but was not able to, as Priante gets on base with a 2-out single. So 2 outs, 1 man on for Xaverian, which brings up the catcher, the aforementioned catcher, Corretto. pitch to Pascual Corretto is on the way. As it is hit up the middle and through center field.
This is exactly what the Clippers needed. 2 outs, they're staying alive, and they're getting on base.
As that is their second hit with 2 outs in this inning. And now is one half of the Hamels. Brian Hamill, the third baseman.
What does Kern have to do here to get out of this inning, Mike?
He just has to trust his pitches. He has to trust his stuff, and he also has to trust his fielders too, which he has done. As that breaking ball is in there for a strike. And yeah, Dan, John Kern has definitely trusted his fielders behind him, and he has to do that here as well.
Well, in the top of the 6th inning, it appears that St. Peter's Prep is warming someone up. Not sure who it is yet.
So the count is 2-0 there. 2-0, 2 outs. Runners on first and second for Xaverian. Driven to left field as Donatachi makes the play on that line drive, ending the inning. And the Clippers, strand 2 runners on.
Well, they get 3 hits in the inning, but nothing makes it back to home plate.
Here's the leadoff hitter, Kyle Hess, as his drag bunt there was fouled away towards Xaverian's dugout. Count is 0-1, bottom of the 6th.
Hess, a 2-sport athlete and one of the younger players on this team, sophomore. Definitely going to have a lot of power next year for the younger players, and he's kind of the future, him and a couple other players of this team.
Count is 1-1 now, and this is the experience he definitely wants. Two and 1 now. The 2-1 misses on the outside corner. Count is 3-1, and as mentioned earlier, Hess started off the at bat with a drag bunt. But it sailed foul, and now we're at 3-1. As that one is popped up to the end of the infield, making the play is the shortstop, Dom Raphael. A nice play by him.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a glare. Didn't affect him that much, though, as Rafael makes a nice catch.
And here's Lance Lucarelli as he takes that first pitch for a ball. Lucarelli, a lefty, as Kyle Hess was. The 1-0. This is up and away. Count is 2-0.
Kimmel throwing a lot of balls right now.
And Pascual Corretto, you could tell he's giving words of encouragement to his pitcher, Kimmel. And 3-0 there as Kimmel falls behind in the count.
Mike, I think he needs a map because he's definitely lost the strike zone.
You got jokes there, Dan, as the count is 3-1.
I try.
Well, don't we all, you know? As the breaking ball is in there for a strike, count is 3-2. Lucarelli laid off it, but it was in fact a strike. The 3-2. As he did not go on the check swing, which results in a walk.
Played it safe there, and Kimmel was not able to find the strike zone. He really hasn't so far in this inning.
And here's Sean Borkowski as the first pitch to the senior from Bayonne is in there for a strike. Prep has a runner on first. The 0-1 is ripped to third. Is ripped to third as it gets into left field, and he advances the runner, Lance Lucarelli, with one out. Now Prep has runners at first and second. And here's the sophomore, Jeremiah Guzman, as he chats with the umpire, giving pleasantries before he steps in the box. Kimmel collecting his thoughts, patiently waiting as he steps on the rubber.
I think he's thinking about that strike zone.
As he'll definitely want to adjust the way his pitches get there. As that ball is driven deep into left field. Going back as it gets to the warning track. 1 run scores. As Jeremiah Guzman gets an RBI with that double. Dan, that was a shot.
Yes, it was. And I thought it was out of here for a second. It looked like it was. Just stays in as it tips the wall. And Guzman's able to get an RBI double. And Prep leads 9-0. A great hit there. Exactly what you want from the rising star, Jeremiah Guzman.
As the first pitch to Thomas Ganaway misses up and in. And Dan, what kind of reaction would we have gotten out of you if that ball was in fact out of there? As it gets through to the first base side, 1 run scores. The second scores the play at the plate.
Not in time.
As that run does score, and Jeremiah Guzman now extends the Prep lead 10-0, 11-0 rather.
Oh, I thought he was out. But like you were saying earlier, Mike, if that ball was hit out of here, I think I would be speechless. That was hit far. 2 more feet maybe, and that ball was gone.
And that's the end of the game, folks, as the 10-run rule is in effect here. And Prep wins 11-0.
Well, players exchange handshakes now, and well, I guess it's over. St. Peter's Prep beats the Xaverian Clippers from Brooklyn 11-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning, with huge help from Jeremiah Guzman in this inning. And Mike, who played the best game for you?
Well, for me personally, I would definitely say it starts with the pitching. So I would definitely say John Curran, to me, was the player of the game because he was able to sustain Prep's lead with his outstanding performance on the mound today.
All right, well, mine's definitely got to be the captain, Sean McDermott. He played great baseball on both ends of the ball, and so Prep walks out of here with another win. They will move to 16-7 on the season, and you can see Jack Harry's definitely happy, and I'm assuming the rest of the team is here.
And with that loss, the Xaverian Clippers fall to 17-6. So we thank you all for tuning in. It was a great game to call. For Mr. Trotta, Anthony Ayanta, our cameraman, my partner Dan Marr, and everyone else at TV Studio Club, I'm Michael Daly. So long, everyone, and have a splendid night.
And we'll see you in the playoffs.